Hey everyone, just a really quick note. A couple of you have asked an excellent question about how do I know which value to subtract from which value whenever I am doing a paired samples t-test. Because if you looked carefully in your book, you will see that whenever they lined up their pre-test and their post-test, or the two things they were comparing, in one example, they subtracted column 1 from column 2. And in another example, they subtracted column 2 from column 1. And so the question had been asked about how do you know which direction to go with which you subtract, because it does make a difference in what the sign of your t-test will be. For the purposes of this class, I will always have the pre-test or the test number 1 be variable 1 and the post-test or the test number 2 be variable 2. And let me just show you the difference in how that looks. So if we come to paired samples t-test, if we do pre-test as variable 1 and post-test as variable 2, you'll see that we get a positive t-score. Now we can still look up here and say on the pre-test, the average score was 56-ish, on the post-test 33-ish. And so we can still say the pre-test value was higher than the post-test value. And this is the important thing to look at. But so when we do it this way, we see a positive sign. Whoops, you can't see that because I dragged my screen over. Okay, here's what I want you to look at. So we can still see the mean of the pretest, the mean of the post-test. But you'll see that there's a positive sign on the t-score. Now let me show you what happens when we do that the other way. And we do analyze, compare means, paired samples. And now we come over here and do the post-test first and the pre-test second. What happens is now we have a negative t-score. So the order that you put it in does matter in terms of whether you're going to have a positive or negative value on your t-score. So for this class, just to keep everything straight, and while you're first learning the techniques, I want you to always have your quiz 1, your test 1, your pre-test as variable 1, and your quiz 2, your post-test, whatever it is, as variable 2. It helps it be less confusing. Whenever if you're ever actually doing research and data analysis, it does matter which order you put it in. And there will be some logic to it. I'm trying to see if scores went up or if scores went down. On this particular survey that I'm working with, a higher score means lower depression symptoms, whereas a lower score means higher depression symptoms. And that's going to determine which I want to subtract from which to see improvement versus worsening of symptoms. So there is logic to what order you put it in as you get more advanced with this. But for the purposes of learning it, pre-test is 1, post-test is 2. And that is the order that you will do it in to get the correct sign for the answers on your assignments. So please let me know if you have any questions related to that.